Hello, viewers and listeners. You are welcome to another edition of the program Midday. Coming your way from Caliphate TV on Star Times Channel 141 and Caliphate Radio transmitting on 91.9. I'm your host, Hajara Usman. Over 25% million Nigerians suffer from some kinds of disabilities. In Sokoto State, we see them in the streets, in the markets, and in the mosques. But disability is not inability. Many of them want to learn, work, and contribute, but issues like stigma, and policy barriers block them from contributing. In 2018 Disability Act says public buildings must be accessible. Discrimination in jobs, schools, and government must reserve 5% of jobs for persons living with disability. In today's edition of the program, we are going to explore the stance of people with disability in Sokoto State. And with me in the studio is Comrade Abubakar Muazu, National Chairman, Joint Association of Persons with Disabilities, Sokoto State Chapter. Also CEO of People with Disability Voice and Advocacy Initiative. We also have Malam Dr. Bello A. Bello, our National Director of Planning, Monitoring, Evaluation, Sokoto Chapter. Also CEO, Jama'a Community Development Initiative. You are welcome to the program, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Jama'a. Thank you.
To begin with, let me start with Comrade Muazu, being the chairman of Joint Association of Persons with Disability. What's the stance of person with disability look like in terms of jobs and in terms of daily education and daily activities?
Well, good morning to all viewers. Before then, I would like to create her background. According to her background, she used to see us on the street and mask and what have you.
Some. I did not say what.
And she generalized according to my own understanding. So I want to let her know that we are at everywhere. We are also at MDS, meaning government organizations, NGOs, and what have you. So we are there. So going back to the questions, which is stance of people with disabilities. So I would say the stance of people with disabilities in Sokoto State is very clear, and I would say it is seen by the people. So people with disability in Sokoto State, I would say their conditions is we are, let me say, a little bit we are making progress in view of the fact that some decades back or some years back, let me not say decades, we were not in the current state we are. So in terms of education, daily life, and what have you, when you see it, even the current statistics on education shows that just taking the cluster of visually impaired people, that more than 500 of them sit for, UTME, and luckily enough pass it. And I am giving you certainty that they are going to get admissions in different types of institutions we have in Sokoto State and nationwide. And in terms of daily life, many of our people are now begin to work out from their surplus limbering by engaging themselves in, other activities that our people also that are normally doing. So at that juncture, I would say also we have to thank, we have to tell the people our effort in making sure that we better the living standard of people with disability. Since ever we assume always we have been up and down battling to ensure that we improve their living condition, as I said initially. So I am telling you that by now our people have started to understand what the life is all about, and we are moving on, and with the engagement or involvement of Sokoto State government and other stakeholders, and the situation is indicating to the barrel minimum. Thank you very much.
Dr. Malam Ebelo, some people think people with disability belongs to the street. That's some people. So how does that stereotype hurt the real progress of those people?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Viewers and listeners, the issue of people with challenge and people with disability, not a local issue, it is an international issue. A resolution in the United Nations that people with disability, like any other human being on earth, is supposed to be catered for as a right. When this convention or this resolution was passed, all the nations signed it, including Nigeria, including Sokoto State, including local government, including wards, including districts, including house to house, including caliphate. That's why, so when I came, we are looking to see whether you are complying with this international law. For you to provide wheelchairs for people. You see my chairman, having polio. You see me with impaired vision. You see, we need more bright light. And a lot of we want to see compliance in this California. But what we are saying, this is an international issue that everybody is expected to comply. As far law is concerned, it is passed in Nigeria, it is passed in Sokoto State, and all we are after is implementation. Federal government has implemented the established commission with the chairman, all the relevant operatives in the organization. Sokoto State government under His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Aliu has established an agency to implement this law. This law categorically is saying there should be no discrimination of these human beings. Anybody can become disabled the next moment. One can have accident. Like me now, I had my sight up to the time I graduated. And even up to the level I did my postgraduates. But I have glaucoma. Both eyes are operated, but at least I am half blind. I can see some part of it, but some cannot even see. So this category of human beings, people with problem of sight, people with problem of legs, people with spinal cord injuries, people with deafness, people with what do you call it? Hearing impairment, and albinos. And we're even adding another category of people with chronic illnesses, like people with sickle cell. You can hardly treat that case, even though you can do bone marrow, but it's a very costly medical intervention. So they are always demanding. People with cancer, you see, very costly to treat. Yes. So there are certain diseases that should come into this so that the government can help them. So it is about achieving sustainable development goals by 2030. And these people with disability should not be left behind. They should be part of goal number one, which is removing people from poverty. Many of them are poor. Many of them are poor. And there is this issue of gap, inequality. It has to be addressed. People with disability should be part of it. There should be food security. These people, you see them begging. Many of them begging to eat. So they should have food to eat. That is goal number two. And our children, they should not be malnourished. Number three, ensuring healthy life for all. Promote well-being for all at all ages. This should go along with people with disability. Many of them, believe me, are sick. If you consider somebody with spinal injury, the lepers, people with eye problem, many of them are sick. So you can see when you come to SDG number 4, providing education for all, quality education for that matter, girls and boys. So this is what we are even talking what we are talking about today about the WAEC examination. Look at the fraction, 500 and something. In Nigeria, we have millions of people with disability, including the blind. So we want to see improvement. We want to see 36 states in Abuja making investment, huge investment, more especially for people deaf and blind, because the material you want to train them very costly. So the law has come. It's not a matter of begging. It is a law that people with disability should be catered for like any other person living on this earth. This is what we are here to advocate for the government, for the public, private sector, for the CSOs, and even radio stations now, and even the people, individuals and communities to join hand in this very world we call system thinking, collaborate to help one another moving forward in the 21st century. It is only then we can achieve this sustainable development goals by 2030, maybe and beyond.
Comrades Abubakar Mazu, the 2018 Disability Act stated clearly that public places must be easily accessible for people with disabilities, and discrimination in schools, public and in job place is illegal, and that the government should provide 5% of job to persons with disability. Has Sokoto State government documented this, or which part is working?
Well, taking rider from Bello, I want to add a little bit to the question. I will say no to it, which is people with disability belongs to a street and other places that people with disabilities, as I often said, we are moving forward. We were working tirelessly to take away that mindset of people that people with disability only belongs to street and they cannot be able to involve in any other activities that any other normal persons can do. So beyond that, by extensions, our people are in different places. If you see them, you wouldn't even know that today we have somebody that was a governor of one of our state. Currently, we have one of the federal national higher assembly member here in Nigeria. So all we need is chance to be given to us. Let us be tested. We know we can do it.
Because
we have the capacity to do
not
it.
Inability.
So going back to the question you asked of the level of domestication of Sokoto State, or 2018 generally Act, which was signed by the previous administration, that has been a good legacy of the former president. So rest in peace. That will continue to linger in our mind. People with disabilities, we can never forget him in our life. He have done a wonderful job for people with disability, and luckily enough, it has been domesticated in Sokoto State. The only issue now is about implementations, which we are advocating extensively to ensure that the full compliance and implementation of the law. And the Sokoto State government, in its own part, it has been also trying its own best. And one of the important things is that giving us the room to actually dialogue and discuss the issues affecting people with disabilities pertaining to the law, and the installment of ES in our Sokoto State agency. The establishment of the agency itself is one of the milestone achievement of the law, and the engagement also of people with disabilities and so many things that has to do with them is also another thing that we must appreciate. And we also must appreciate financial groups like our community development initiative and HCOMD, and one of the standard advocate of people with disability, Haja Aisha to Abdullahi. She has been also doing a lot. She even training us. I am her product, I would say, so to say. So seriously, the only thing is that now we have developed what we call a work plan to ensure that we educate people part of the work plan to know about this law and the everything about what this law contains, so that you can't tell us that you are ignorant of it and to serve as an excuse. So in the law it said it isn't an excuse at all. So we want to educate people first so that if we come to this your radio station first, we ensure that you happen to comply, then you sure that you must be assured that we must what do you call it, we must execute you, we must take you to court to pay for what you have done, you know, the consequences. And likewise in the other companies, and like the quota that said you must allocate 5% for people with disability of any employment opportunities. So you know, you see some companies coming out with initiatives or recruiting people, but they will forget with people with disabilities. And we have a chance there to take them to court to bear the consequences of their actions. And then we also ensure that we print flyers on everything that is publicly that they will come and see and know about the law. This is what our intentions. Thank you.
You've mentioned about the law saying 5% of job opportunities should be given to persons with disabilities.
Exactly.
So is Sokoto State government and other companies in Sokoto obeying this?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes, of course, because the recent recruitment made by the Sokoto State government, you know, which was, is it 3,000 people it is to recruit? I know it is only, let me say, 50 persons with disabilities that was given the chance. I would say kudos to them there. That's why I say yes or no, they tried, but at least we want them to try more. And the other companies is unfortunate. You know, we have 0% in compliance. So that's why I'm saying yes or no. But God grace, with this kind of movement and the others that are measures that will going to be taken, I know that the law must be complied by all and sundries. God grace. Thank you.
Malam Dr. Bello Ebello, as primaries, how accessible are primary, secondary, and tertiary schools in Sokoto State for persons with disability?
How
Accessible, yeah.
Yes. You see, when you look at what we do or apply in terms of United Nations methodology, maintain education, we have what they call demand and supply sides. On the supply side, we are supposed to have human resources, that is the teachers, lecturers, then the educational instruction materials, then the access. This means the availability of those training centers in the rural areas, easily accessible by the students, whether they are adult. You know, we have formal and non-formal education. All this should be accessible. So that is where we get the bottom line, what we call baseline. We have 100% teachers to educate these students. What percentage are we? Instructional materials, do we have them, more especially now with information communication technology? Are we catching them young to join the 21st century? Yes, digital world. Then the access, the classrooms, are they well managed classroom to allow for students to sit comfortably and learn? But when you come to the demand side of education, our children, our elderly, or adult people who want to learn, how much have we enrolled them? What is the percentage? How will we be able to retain them? How will we retain them? And the coverage, how much have graduated? All this I'm talking, people with disability included, because we are now talking about inclusive education for everybody, whether they are people with disability or otherwise. But what we are targeting as far as sustainable development goal is concerned is poor and vulnerable people in the society to have access you are talking about. So when you look at SDG, Sustainable Development Goal number 4, they say quality education for all, both girls and boys, both adults, male and female. So have we been in Nigeria making proper, adequate investment to provide this access you are talking about? I will just say like what my chairman said, yes or no. Because when you look at the budget, you see the budget, they are fantastic budget. But when it comes to release of funds to implement the budget, you see no percentage. So this country, we have been operating just like what the colonial master left us. The world today in the 21st century, it is public governance. You plan with the people, implement with the people, monitor with the people, and achieve results. I mean, you achieve objectives. So what you are saying, I believe the governments are trying. But we want to see government, human resource, teachers are well trained to have the capacity to impart knowledge. Because now, in the 21st century, we are talking of effective teaching. And this our people with the ability, they have children, and many of them are poor. They cannot get access because they cannot afford to pay. So that's why we are advocating for public schools to be equipped to allow these poor and vulnerable households to get the children educated. And we are not saying, because what we mean by inclusive education, we are not saying we have to establish special schools. No. Send them to these, our ordinary schools, both private and the government. Because, for example, like my chairman, he's having a legs problem. You see now he's in the university. He's graduated in information communication technology. So you see, his eyes are okay, his hands are okay. So he can, people like them can be in primary school, can be in nursery and secondary, even university. Where we have problem is the issue of sight, like my own. Now I have sight problem. You understand? Children with sight problem, the materials, the equipment they require to be taught, you find they are very costly. Very costly. So that is why we say government should invest more. Because we have so many children with blindness. But even then, how can we prevent people to become blind? Because you see, it is LGG number 4. How ensure healthy people in Nigeria. So we have to do proper planning, strategic planning for that matter, so that we can become a developed nation like the other nations, where everybody is catered for. We are very lucky in Sokoto State. His answer, Dr. Ahmed Ali, has developed a social protection policy, and the law is being promulgated, so that this category of people, whether they are people with disability or people elsewhere, poor and vulnerable in the society, will be catered for. They should not be marginalized. They should not be left behind as far as sustainable development is concerned. Nobody should be left behind. Everybody should be catered. I want to achieve this, inshallah, by 2030. But I always say beyond. Because in Nigeria, we work snail speed. We want to facilitate our faster for us to achieve our result faster. So the capacity of our institutions should be improved for us to implement government programs and project policies, so that we can provide the dividend of democracy we are talking about. Everywhere the politician will give you this, will give you this, will give you water, clean water, will give you good roads, will give you electricity, will give you food, will give you security. Look at security in Nigeria. So all these are issues for government to lead, because in this world today, the government leads, private sector assists, we CSOs and the media, we are assisting the government, educating people. And we want the community people to cooperate with CSOs, with private sector, with the government, for us to achieve our aims, so that we can improve our quality of lives, including the people with disability. Not left behind.
Okay, viewers and listeners, it's still your show Midday Vibes, coming your way from Caliphate TV on Star Times Channel 141 and Caliphate Radio transmitting on 91. We will take a short break and we will be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. In case you've just joined us, this is Midday Vibes. Coming your way from Caliphate TV on Star Times Channel 141 and Caliphate Radio transmitted on 91.9. And right here at this studio, we are discussing about the stand of persons with disability in Sokoto State. If you want to be part of this conversation, the Lombard's call is 090-6000-2022. And with me in the studio is Comrade Abubakar Muazu, National Chairman, Joint Association of Persons with Disability, Sokoto State Chapter. Also CEO of People with Disability Voice and Advocacy Initiative. And also Malam Dr. Bello A. Bello Idadawa, National Director of Planning, Monitoring, Evaluation, Sokoto State Chapter. Also CEO Jama'a Community Development Initiative. Welcome back from the break. Comrade Muazu, what are the successes or in terms of businesses and other skills that persons with disabilities in Sokoto State are already achieving that people don't know about?
Thank you. You see, successes, we have recorded them in abundance. See, people's disabilities are seen as people that are incapacitated, or not knowingly that people with disabilities are capacitated people. They have capabilities. They can do more than their expectations. There are many people, in civil service force. There are many people that are working with the companies. There are many people that are politicians. Going down, we have tailoring that are expert in what we call fashion design. We have people that are doing very well in trading business. We have many people that are doing very well in phone accessories, in repairing phones, in selling computers, in repairing computers, web design, graphic design. Even it may interest you to know that the solar installations and the CCTV camera installation, there are many people that can do it, and the networking and what have you. So, but people didn't know about that because they haven't exposed themselves. And the largest percentage of people with disabilities are seen on the road as you have stated in your background. But as of then, but for now, our people has made a serious progress. We have moved forward seriously.
So what are the major challenges that persons with disability face that non-disabled people don't know about?
Many. One, stigma and discrimination. We want the society generally to stop discriminating us and to stop also seeing us as not human beings. You have to know that people with disabilities are also human beings, and they are also equal before the law. You have to know also that they are also, you have to look at them as a human being before you look at that kind of disabilities they have.
Yes.
So once is one of the major challenges that no matter how well dressed you are, if you are not in the car or one of the luxury vehicle, you approach somebody that are normal, he will think that you are a beggar. He will just assume that you are a beggar.
Yes.
Sometimes I used to look at it as I can even give you a job, but you still look at me as a beggar. And that mentality money is here in the northern part of the country, and since we assume office, we have been doing up and down to reduce it. We have to create a huge awareness like this, and we are doing so that people know that we are not all fingers are not equal. They used to say. So, God grace, I know that some of the challenges, and there is mobility aids. Most of our people didn't have mobility aids. They were moving around in the community, society, markets and what and where when we don't have them. So some got that the president administration and some NGOs now are coming in to help. And there is also this issue of accessibility that you have asked. If you go to some markets, you see that it's very congested. Having a vehicle that you want to go in so that you have access to whatever they are being sold there, but your impressions you can't go there. You have to call attention of someone to help you, and you'll be some they won't even come. So they will look down upon you. So it is helpful that down. Seriously, we are advocating seriously that should be addressed. And there is since you ask me, and there is this accessibility to schools and public buildings. Most of them are not wheelchair friendly to people with disabilities. You see, and they are like ramps and lifters, elevators, and what have you.
Yes.
So God bless, I know gradually all those issues will be overcome. Yes.
Madam Dr. Dr. Bello Ebelo, what role can communities, since you mentioned some of the challenges, what role can religious and traditional rulers play in ending stigma against persons living with disabilities?
Yes, like I said earlier, development planner. What we are saying in development, everybody should be carried along. But how do you carry everybody along? You can only do it when you collaborate. With this time we call system thinking. Look at things holistically. So the whole world now is organized into 4 compartments, but to work interrelated, interdependent to achieve these goals we are talking about. There are 17 goals. The government needs the private sector assists the government to achieve these goals. Understand? They invest. Then the CSOs, including the media like you now, we are assisting the government to achieve these goals for the people, what they could dividend of democracy. Isn't it? In a democratic era like that of Nigeria. Then the community you are talking about, the government, the private sector, the CSO, and the leader, we are all struggling to improve the quality and well-being of people's lives.
Yes.
So they should also cooperate. If government comes with the program and project, they should collaborate and get those projects executed for their own benefit. So the government has always been telling people, please cooperate with the government. After all, you are elected into office to serve you.
Yes.
That's why sometimes we are saying, we see those elected in office, they feel as if they are the masters, while they are the servants. You know what we call public service, civil service. You see, you are serving the people that elected into the office. Even if you are the military are also serving the society. So this society should also cooperate with the government to allow government to implement program project to better their lives. So people with disability, like any other person who has no disability, because to me as a medical person, you can hardly see somebody without disability, because you see somebody who easily become emotional. He has problem with mental health. You should be patient to whatever comes your way in life. So we have so many people with disabilities, but it is not shown. It's only like me and my chairman now with his legs due to polio, with my eyes due to glaucoma, with somebody. You see some people, there are many people with disability in the society, but it has not shown properly. This is disabled. So what we are saying, whether you are disabled, you should, whether you are disabled or not, you are a human being, and you should not be discriminated often, because people with disability, they have not begged for it. They have not. It can come to anybody.
Yes.
You see? So, and what we are always saying, what we always encourage ourselves, and we want people to encourage us that there is ability in disability.
Yes.
Yes. You see my chairman now. That's why I'm saying, you should have wheelchair so that I can carry my chairman. Yes. So that you should comply with this law, because what we are saying, we don't want to take any organization, including the government, because most of the government organization, you find they have not even provided these facilities we are talking about. And believe me, many private sectors like MTN, where we went home, yes, I was sometime in the EFCC. I saw them doing the same thing. Why is that we went where they have also those type of services? Gradually, both the private sector and public sector, they are complying. So we don't intend to take anybody to court to look for our right. We want a mutual respect for us to get our rights.
Because of time, let's quickly round up. Comrade Maazu, in terms of insecurity, how does it affect in Sokoto State? How does it affect persons living with disability differently when attacks and other displacements occur?
Unfortunately, a week back, I was reported that one of our member in Sokoto was kidnapped. He's a blind man. When they attacked, everybody around him, he have nobody to assist him. They met him there and kidnapped him. So it's unfortunate. So that's how it used to happen to people with mobility aids and everybody in the villages that are mostly affected by these issues. That once they come, the people that are going to be affected by this mostly are our people, because they can't run if they run, they can't run fast. They will just come and catch them. Yeah. So it is to affect us seriously.
If you had a chance, if you had two requests for the Sokoto State government now, what will it be?
Number one, full investigation of our law implementation, releasing the funds for the implementation. It will overcome all those issues you are seeing. Because we have already plans on ground that all those challenges we mentioned are going to be overcome and addressed by the plan. Everything you have to plan. We have planned for that. And then we are also appealing to the am I wrapping up?
Yes.
Yes. We are also appealing to community members and NGOs that everybody has a role to play. You have opportunities that somebody at your maybe is your neighbor or with a disability, you have something doing or support him with whatever you have, or if you don't have, try to support him, engage him. If you are not anybody that can support him, help him to support him, not help, supporting. Support is different from helping. When you support him, he becomes self-reliant or independent rather than being dependent. And likewise, the NGOs and the government also should try more effort to ensure that we come with different and innovative initiatives just to address our issues.
What is that one thing that you wish people in Sokoto State will stop when they see people with persons with disabilities?
Discrimination. Not thinking that we are beggars. Yes, we want them to stop.
We are not beggars.
We are not, of course.
Well, thank you very much, Comrade Abubakar Maazu, National Chairman, Joint Association of Persons with Disabilities, Sokoto State Chapter. Also CEO Persons with Disability Voice and Advocacy Initiative. And also Madam Dr. Bello Bello Gidadawa, National Director of Planning, Monitoring, Evaluation, Sokoto State Chapter. Also CEO Jama'am Community Development Initiative. Thank you for honoring our invitation and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Inshallah.
And with this, we come to the end of today's edition of the program Midday Vibes. On behalf of our production crew and our guests, Comrade Abubakar Maazu and Madam Dr. Bello Bello Gidadawa, I am Hajara Usman Attajiri. Stay blessed until next time.